babes, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. Now's a good time to go ahead and subscribe. Of course, as you guys can see from the title, today's video is in collaboration with Sunber hair. It's actually been quite some time since I've worked with them, but I'm really excited because they always give a ton of goodies. So I got a bonnet, we have this elastic Velcro strap, which just kind of helps that blending process in the end. And then of course, I'm going to be using their 5x5 HD lace body wave closure wig in the length 28-inch. So that's a mouthful, right? But of course, all the details will be listed down in my description box below. And the density on this wig is incredible, super thick, super full. And I'm just going to show you step by step what it is that I do just to kind of throw it on and go. And of course, you guys know I'm going to go ahead and just bleach the knots because typically they don't come pre-bleached. I'm not sure if that's something they offer, but I will definitely inquire with the company. If you guys need a more detailed bleaching tutorial, definitely make sure to check out just like some of the other videos that I have posted, just so that you can get that, because you want to make sure that the consistency is super thick. I am using my BW 2 bleaching powder. I got this at Sally's, and then also just a clear 30 volume developer. And I like to just apply this with like a spatula or what is this, a butter knife? So I've had this for quite some time. Obviously I don't use it to like cook and eat with, but there's that. Once you do actually have the unit fully bleached, I don't really like to over bleach the knot, so I kind of take it up about mid process just because I really want the unit to last for a while. And typically when you bleach the knot, it will cause the hair to just kind of like shed a little bit more and all that good stuff. So yeah, we kind of did a quick flash bleach just to kind of lift it just a teeny tiny bit. And then you guys will see here, I'm actually just going through and kind of plucking everything out, getting it to look a little bit more natural. And I will just kind of show you about how much hair I'm getting rid of, just in case you guys are like, Chrissy, did I take out too much hair? Like, y'all, don't be nervous. This unit was super full. When I tell you full, okay, they had the tracks on top of the tracks on top of the tracks, like really, really nicely structured. And you guys can see I'm really just taking my time. And not really doing this in like a calculated way. The only thing that I recommend is that when you do start to kind of pluck is make sure that you split the hair, right? So take about a ½ inch of the actual frontal and kind of just section it out of the way, and then begin to pluck directly behind the hairline. And that will kind of help you avoid over plucking, just so that you can really check your work. If you're one of those people that are not sure, it's always better to do less than more, because once you try this on, you do not want your closure to already be kind of like thinned out, because then we'll be wearing a U-part at that point, right? So I definitely just recommend taking your time. Don't feel rushed. If you're not happy with how light the actual knots are, you can always go back and just kind of like reprocess it again and just keep a close eye on it. But in this case, I allowed it to sit for about 20 minutes. Didn't matter what it looks like at that point. I just wanted it to be out so that we can quickly move through this process. All that I'm doing from here is taking a little bit of my Cream of Nature mousse. You guys can use whatever you feel comfortable with. So I like to use this just because it really kind of helps the hair lay down a lot easier, right? So whereas I would need to use like a hot comb, obviously everybody does not have access to some of these things. In this case, I didn't have mine handy. So I did just go ahead and use the mousse just to sleek everything down, kind of tweezed out a little bit more areas that were just kind of like aggy to me. And then I did also go ahead and just kind of create some baby hair, just because I knew when it comes to like the closure units, typically I do just kind of like that little edge baby hair look. If that's not your thing, that's okay. Definitely skip this step. But yeah, I'm just using a razor comb just to kind of break this down maybe to about 1 inch. And then of course I'll kind of curl it, and you guys will kind of see how we'll transform this. So just putting a little bit of mousse there just so that that can kind of lay smooth and be easy to kind of work with. And so yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and actually allow this to sit. If you have the time to let it air dry, I definitely recommend doing it. If not, no worry, right? We're going to go ahead and use this golden hot, which I've had forever. And I did go ahead and just let that air dry, or not air dry, but actually sit under the dryer and get as dry as possible, at least for the cap and the roots. Now y'all, I was actually getting ready to go somewhere, so I was really in a hurry, did not have time to braid my hair down, none of that. I don't have a cap on up underneath this. I literally have my hair pulled back, just like 2 braids. Like literally, when I tell y'all 2 braids, and I'm the queen of, girl, you better make sure you take your time, okay? I'm just showing you how quick it is. These closure wigs make everything so much easier. You guys can see how I'm going through the hair. I did actually just finish the blow dry. dry, just because of course it is longer hair, so it would have taken a lot longer to dry than the time I had. So I allowed it to kind of sit for about 3 hours, and then of course I just finished the blow dry towards the end. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and just like trim off that lace, kind of shape up the edges that I did use. You guys will see me kind of curl up the edges a little bit using my edge brush just to make sure that everything is nice and smooth. And then once I'm happy with it, I usually just move on. So I decided not to do any type of glue. I wanted this to be completely glueless because obviously, y'all, we did not sit and do the cornrows as we typically do. So I knew that this was going to be a unit that I would kind of put on, take off, and you know, that kind of thing. But I was in a hurry, so I needed to get this done. But I really just wanted to show you what it is that I would do to kind of get out the door. And you guys can see the unit is secured on my head. It's not going anywhere. You guys can see how transparent the lace is and how easy it is to just apply and go. So there are combs. I did go ahead and tuck them in on each ear or beside my ear, right? So the ear flaps, and then of course we have one at the nape of the neck. And the best thing about this unit is because it is a 5x5 closure unit, it just makes things so much simpler. If you are one of those people that don't like a lot of hair on your nape of your neck, especially when you're going to sleep, in the shower, I mean, you just don't want to have to curl this every single day. I love being able to just take this off and put this on. You guys will see at the end how easy it is. But I decided to go ahead and do a couple of wand curls. You don't actually have to have a wand curler to do it. So I'm actually just using, I believe this is about a 2-inch or maybe about a 1.5-inch curling rod, and I'm literally just wrapping the hair around it. Definitely make sure to kind of be careful, because if it does have any like grooves, it will kind of dent the hair. So I kind of realized that about midway up, but I'm just maneuvering through the hair, and then once I get to the top, we'll all right, guys, so this is the reveal. Of course, you guys can see the lace is definitely melted. I was happy with it. And then I like to just use the back of the curling rod, just to add a little bit more volume. You guys can see I did not go through the unit with like a hot comb like usual to really like press down the roots or anything. I wanted to kind of keep the volume just because I know it was like a lot of hair, and I really wanted you guys to be able to see how thick and full it was without kind of cutting through the bulk. But I just like the shine that it kind of gives. And you guys can see I'm just going through the hair, curls like a dream. Again, it is a 28-inch, so it's really, really long. Of course, I will have a coupon code for you, so definitely make sure to check the description box. They do have a Black Friday sale, so if you have not already, definitely make sure that you are subscribed to me. Make sure that you are following me on Instagram, TikTok, and all that good stuff. And yeah, definitely make sure to check out the full description box, because I know sometimes you guys have trouble when it comes to like ordering and really making sure that you get the same product that I do. So just be sure to double check that. And of course, I would love to hear from you, so leave any comments or questions down below. I love you guys so much. Stay pretty, and as y'all know, I will see you in my next video. Bye, babies.